Hello, and welcome back to the Higher Paradigm YouTube channel and podcast. I am your host, Laura, and today I'm going to jump in with a quote that I find myself often saying to my clients and fellow intuitives. We operate at the frequency with which we are living in. And what this means is we need to do our work as healers, light workers, intuitives, because we are gifted and we have intuition. But what is our intuition working for? What is it accessing? Because if we are not doing our own work, that means that we are carrying lower vibrational frequencies in various regions of our body. And when we work with clients that have their own work to do, they obviously are carrying probably similar lower vibrational frequencies. Therefore, we are mirrors for one another, and we can pick up on those lower vibrational traumas, wounding, just intuitively. Like we are picking up on lower vibrational, unconscious, most likely, or somewhat likely, but unconscious or conscious, we're picking up on the things that are mirroring back to us what needs to be worked on within ourselves. Also, as an intuitive, especially if you are someone who offers spiritual guidance in the framework of psychic mediumship, we'll say, it is so important that as a psychic medium, as an intuitive who is offering insights and guidance and giving comfort and healing to your clients, it is so important that you are a pure, pristine, clean vessel. Now, does that mean that we are perfect and we're showing up perfect and we've done every single thing we could do? We've purified every single organ of our body to 100% optimal health? No, it doesn't. Because just like the healing journey, the cleansing and clearing journey is a layered pursuit. But the more work you do, the clearer your vessel becomes, the more of an open channel you become to true divine messaging. So many of us are operating in a lower vibration, and the messages that we receive might actually not be from or co-created with the divine realms, whether that be Mother, Father, God, or your creator, the source, however you want to speak of it, whether that be the wise, well, unhealed ancestors, or spirit teams, or your guardian or their guardian, or angels that are in the light. If we are not doing our own work and raising our own vibration, then what we are providing for our clients is potentially something unhealed, dark, demonic, and not serving the greater good, and especially not serving them. So this message is important for those of us light workers and healers and intuitives who are guiding clients in on their path of life, on their healing journey, whatever it is. But this is actually also very important for those of us who are perpetual seekers of others' gifts to help guide our path, but we're not actually using the guidance we receive. We keep looking for more. It's someone who is always going and trying to find the next best answer to their problems from an intuitive, whether, again, it be a healer, somebody who is a Reiki practitioner, someone who considers themselves a psychic medium, whatever it may be, it's important for you to know there's two things to this, that not every intuitive is in integrity and embodying the work that they do. And it is very important for those of us who are seeking guidance from a teacher, someone who can help us on our path to become the best, the highest version of ourselves. It is important to be looking for guides who are actually doing their own work. So there's that. But the other piece of this is, if you are that person who is always seeking multiple readers, healers, psychic mediums, Reiki practitioners, and you're looking for answers and you're never satisfied, it might be because they're not guiding you into the truth. They're guiding you into what they are picking up on intuitively from you at a frequency, but it's also mirroring something within them that needs to be worked through. So that might feel to your subconscious like that's not it. This is not the answer. Any intuitive, any healer, any guide should never take responsibility or claim that they have the answers for you, because a healer that is being honest and in integrity will always guide you back home to yourself and guide you into the work that you need to do, but also guide you through that work. Will be able to offer you tools and practices and guidance on how to navigate what has been shown, what you are looking at when you're in a session with a healer. You also have to be very careful when it comes to accessing information from psychic mediums or mediums, those who claim that they are speaking to your dead loved ones. You have to be very careful, because you have to recognize that your deceased loved ones might actually not be who they are speaking to, because demons are very good at masquerading as angels. Demons are very good at masquerading as your deceased loved one to give you messages. And you might say, well, that can't be true because they knew information that nobody else knows. Well, that's exactly right. Demons have been following us around since we were born. They've been following your deceased loved one around since they were born. So therefore, they know everything, and they know what buttons to push. They know what things are going to persuade you to believe that your deceased loved one is right here with you. It's not to say that your deceased loved one is not a guide or a guardian for you, but if your psychic medium or your intuitive that you are working with does not have a intimate relationship with source, does not do their own healing work, does not take care of their body, does not have a ritual, a daily practice or ritual to connect in with source, with the divine realms, with the purest light energies, light frequencies, however you want to say it, then you have to question whether or not they are actually accessing truth. Okay. And this is so important. So that's for those of us who like to receive someone else's gifts, someone else's intuitive gifts. And it's not to say that these people are not intuitive, but are they using their gift for the good? Is it light that they are working in? Are they embodied in the work that they do? Do you know that they're taking care of themselves first? Okay. It is so important as light workers, as healers, as women, as people, I should say, of service in this way to not prioritize monetary gain, not prioritize taking care of others, helping others, service to others first. Yes, that is at the top of the list, but it is not the first thing we do. The most important thing that we do is take care of our own bodies, take care of our own shit, unpack our own baggage, recognize that we did not come to this planet just to help others. We are the vessel for healing in so many ways. It's not just to be of service and give and give and give. That is not what we are called to do. We are called to receive. We are called to receive our God, source, healing, life force, whatever you want to call it, energy. We're called to receive that so that we can, co-create our healing journey or co-work together with the divine on our healing journey so we can open ourselves up to be a genuine and pure channel for higher frequencies. Those of us that are light workers, healers, intuitives, working for God, basically, we are on this planet to raise the planet's vibration. So if you are not doing your work, you are not raising the vibration of this planet. Just because you offer somebody some really heart-touching reading and they walked away crying, that does not mean that you elevated the session to the frequency of love. That's not what that means. It means that you were able to access something, but are you sure of what that is? So this is about raising the vibration, but it's also about having discernment. So how do we raise our vibration? First of all, we raise our vibration not just through doing our ancient healing work, but we also raise it through what we're putting into our body, the environments that we're surrounding ourselves with, how we're cleansing ourselves every single day, the people we interact with, recognizing what kind of energy they bring into your field, your relationship with the divine, your practices. It all comes back to you and what you are doing to embody the work that you're bringing into the world, to embody what your mission is. If you are a reader, what is your mission? What is your purpose of this work? You want to give your clients the purest readings that you can, right? You're not just here to get a response like you need the acknowledgement. You need to be validated that you know what you're doing. You need to know that you are gifted by getting emotional responses or praise for your gifts, correct? If you do operate from this frequency of I really love giving readings because yeah, it makes them feel good, but I know that it makes them feel good because of the praise that I receive. If that's at the forefront of your mind, then I want to encourage you to go inward and ask if there is more, because wanting to do this work so that you can feel good about yourself is not the whole reason. It's not the only reason. And it's probably not the biggest reason. So it's important to get very clear on who you are, your intentions, and why you're doing what you're doing. This is deep, devoted work. I see so many people not really feeling how deeply sacred this type of work is. We can only be this vessel of truth and of wisdom and of healing to the depths in which we're willing to go within ourselves so that we can embody what we're bringing into the world and be that channel, be that guardian for others to do the same. We can't be constantly circling the drain of self-doubt or our own demons or, our own insecurities and be able to hold safe and sacred space for others. It's just not possible. You can't remove yourself, your own consciousness, your own vibration from the equation. It is so important, of course, to do the healing work and to recognize the power of it, the importance of it, the necessity of it, and the magnitude of it. It's not just about you. It's about so much more than you. And when you are willing to go into those dark, dark places, those trenches, you can access more of who you truly are, the part of you that is connected directly with God. And you can raise your vibration so that you are that being of light that you claim yourself to be or that you want to be. So I say this from my own experience. And again, this isn't just about doing the healing work and going into those trenches. This is about what you're, again, I said this, putting into your body. Are you eating McDonald's? Are you consuming trash TV like Real Housewives? These are low vibrational consumptions. Are you drinking alcohol? Alcohol significantly lowers your vibration. I personally, as a sober person, don't see the point in ever bothering with it because it's such a deterrent from our soul. But obviously, you can do whatever you want and you can set boundaries with it, but it will lower your vibration and it will bring you into some lower frequency places within yourself. And, whether or not you feel like crap the next day is irrelevant. It's still a toxin that lingers within your systems. Are you using products like shampoo and body wash and cleaners and toothpaste that have toxic chemicals? Are you using air fresheners? These are all things that keep us vibrating at a lower frequency that causes our cells to hold on to toxic energy. That toxic energy could be related to the toxin itself, whatever you're putting into your body, but it can also exacerbate lower vibrational energies that are living within your body, like your liver. For instance, again, going back to alcohol. Alcohol lowers your vibration. Alcohol is metabolized in your liver. What else is in your liver? Energetically, there are a lot of emotions that live in your liver. And when you drink alcohol, it can activate those energies that live in your liver. So if you do have rage, you could feel rage. If there is depression or emotions related to depression, that could be activated. If there is sadness, that could be activated. If there is inflammation, that can be activated. And then you could feel sore or uncomfortable in your body or swollen. There's just so many reasons and so many interweavings when it comes to what you're consuming, putting into your body, what lives within your body, and what is activated when we are not taking better care of ourselves or as best care of ourselves as we possibly can. So it is important to eat a clean diet. It is important to remove as many toxins from your home. It is important to do a daily energy hygiene practice. I do one twice a day at this point, and I absolutely have to. It is important that you are thorough between client sessions with cleansing the space, cleansing the area, and making sure that you are setting intentions before and after each. And you're also cleansing your own field. because energies can linger from your previous client and enter into the session that you're in now. You have to be very discerning. And I mean, this is in my experience. You can't F around with if a demon can find a loophole or a lower vibrational energy can find a loophole, it will. And it will find its way. In the early days of me doing healing work, I had no boundaries. Everything that I know now, I have learned through practice and experience and training, of course, but mostly experience, which I guess is training. um, anyway, in the early days when I first started, my intuition turned on one day and it exploded. It was like overwhelming how much information I was receiving from spirit. The kinds of spirits that had access to that were giving me information that were present not only just for me, but during my client sessions. And I had no boundaries. I had no prayers. I had no intention setting. I really just was going into it completely open to anything. And I thought that that was a good thing. But now what I know to be true is that is not. That is not healthy for you as the giver and the recipient. It is not healthy for them either. Because it's ultimately doing them a disservice when information that's coming from something that is not of the good, is not of the light. Okay. That's my opinion and my experience. So during client sessions, first of all, my sessions would last upward of 2-3 hours, and I'd have like 6 or 7 pages worth of notes because I had no boundaries with spirit. I had no discernment for what felt like demons or felt like something lower vibrational as opposed to what was actually here, like that needed to be worked through or needed to be seen, that the client needed to know. I had no discernment with spirit and vibration or whatever energies were present, but I also had no discernment and no boundaries when it came to the work that I was doing. So I would pick up, and I still pick up on trauma that the client has energetically living in their body. And back then, I absolutely would share whatever was coming up without being sensitive to the information I was giving because I still had my own work to do around the very same issues that were coming up for my clients. I still had so much healing work to do on myself, so many things I needed to look at within myself and accept and do the workaround. And so when clients would come to me with similar issues that were mirroring back to me my own, I was like sharing them very, very straightforwardly, I guess is the best way for me to put it right now. And that was not necessarily the best way to support and hold space for these women because they were very sensitive issues that were coming up. But now I know to be true again that I was operating at the frequency of my own pain and the things that I needed to work through. And what I was picking up on within them, it was accurate. They didn't disagree. They confirmed what I was picking up on was true, but I was picking up on those things and I was then feeling like it was activating my own trauma in a way. And I didn't know how to hold space for it. So there was the spiritual aspect, the energy aspect, and then this, the actual healing work aspect that I needed to get honest with myself and keep going in my own healing work around. So, of course, that's what I did. And as I started to gain a little bit of perspective on discernment and recognizing when I feel depleted and when I feel completely run down after client sessions and things like that, that is when I started to notice like the energy that is in the space is really consuming me and I need to do something about it. But at the same time, again, meeting with clients and dredging things up for them was dredging things up for me too. And I know that this doesn't happen for all intuitives who work with clients and are guiding them in some way, that working with their clients is activating things within them. But I want to ask also, like, if it's not activating things within you, but you know you have things around similar uh issues that are coming up for them and there's work that needs to be done, why are you avoiding and pushing away the work? Why isn't it activating you in a sense, I guess? I feel like for me, I was so open to deeply healing and knew that this was part of my purpose. Once I committed to my healing journey in 2020, I was devoted and I was willing and open. And it has required over the last 6 years many reminders of how it is okay to go through what I go through for the purposes of, again, not just for me, but for my ancestors, for my children, for the future of our lineage, for the collective, to raise the frequency of the planet. And this ultimately, and the most important thing, this is what God has called me to do. It is just so important to really be honest with yourself about how you're guiding, how you're operating, the work that you're doing for yourself, for your clients' benefit. And are you an open channel? What are you channeling? Do you actually recognize that what you're channeling is something other than good? It's not something of the good. Are you channeling or connecting with your clients in an embodied way? Are you coming from a place of embodying the work that you're bringing into the world, that you're being of service and guiding others through? Because how can you guide others through the work that you have not guided yourself or been guided through for yourself? People can feel and sense that disembodiment, but not everyone. And you might still get clients and you might still, work with people, but are you giving your absolute best to these people? Is it serving them? Do you know how to hold the space for them? Do you know how to guide them forward from an integral place, from an embodied place? Are you accessing truth that benefits them to hear, or is it even truth? Let me give an example, at least one. um, my friend received a reading from a psychic medium, and in her reading, she gave information that my friend was not looking for, did not agree with at all. And it seemed to her, even my friend, I mean, it seemed to her that this reading was biased in some way. In the reading, she said that within 9 months she would be successful. And the second part that she shared with me was that she was going to leave her partner, which, firstly, about the success. What is this reader basing success off of? Why is this reader interpreting that she is not already successful? And mind you, like, this friend did not give much information at all. So, what are her parameters of success? And I don't know. It just felt very cliche to say something like that. Oh, in 9 months, you're going to be successful. And what she meant by successful was money. You'll have more money. But I don't know, as an intuitive, connecting in with the angelic realms or the divine realms, there would be a more guided approach to sharing the success that my friend could experience in 9 months. And this reader chalked it up to it's just going to happen. Whereas, like, someone who is in integrity and embodies their work recognizes that things don't just happen. There is action steps that are required on the person's behalf. There are, other elements to it rather than just saying, oh, you're going to be successful in 9 months. There's more to it. And she could have provided a lot more guidance and information than that. The second part with the, you're going to leave your partner. My friend doesn't even have a desire to leave her partner. She's happily partnered. And so this was very off-putting and very upsetting to her, because what does that do? Well, it kind of instills fear that maybe something's going to happen, but it could potentially plant a seed that may not need to be planted. That to me sounds demonic. To plant a seed of separation between her and her partner when she did not say one negative thing about her partner. She didn't even bring her partner up or how she feels in their relationship. This reader just went ahead and planted a seed of doubt, of questioning, potentially. I mean, I don't know to this day. This happened a couple months ago. I don't know if it has, but that is the potential. Now, as readers or intuitives, yes, part of our job is planting seeds, but we have to be very, very conscientious and very connected again with the divine realms when we make the decision to share what's coming through for us. We have to be, again, very discerning as well, because this is not a good thing. It's not good to tell somebody that they're going to separate from their significant other that they're happily partnered with. It's not a good thing, especially for no reason. So this is why it's so important to lead in integrity, to do your own work, to have discernment, to go first as healers, light workers. Those of us who are intuitive, we are in a position, we have been given this opportunity to be leaders and to be the way shower and to guide people back to the truth. So we have to really, really be devoted to that. Be devoted to the mission, the purpose, the intention, the goodness, the path of love, the path of peace, the path of truth and healing. And we have to really know how to support our people when they're going through their trenches. And it has been activated by the work that we're doing with them. We have to have the ability to hold that space and guide them through that experience. Otherwise, you're just creating more trauma. You could be potentially triggering a trauma response within your client. And that's okay to some extent if you have the capacity, the training, the ability, the embodiment to walk them through that trigger, to guide them through that trigger. And if you are simply giving people what they want to hear, and connecting with demons that are masquerading as loved ones and angels, I have to ask, aren't you sick of blowing smoke up people's butts? I have to ask, and I mean this from love, because you have the ability to connect with something pure and true, and you're choosing to do your work out of integrity with the good, with the divine. And that, to me, that's not it. It's not in alignment. And that will show up for you, whether it be in how well you feel in your body, if there's dis-ease within your body, if you're not making money, if people aren't showing up, if there's, deviation signs like getting in car accidents or money's being stolen from you or something bad, quote unquote, is always happening to you. You're always in a dramatic situation or whatever it is. Those are evidences that you're out of alignment. And that doesn't mean that you're not intuitive. It doesn't mean that you're not gifted, but let's be in integrity with our purpose. I think that's all I have to say. Just remember, we operate at the frequency with which we are living in. And again, this does not mean that we clear and purify 100% of the toxins and the unhealed energy that lives within our body. But we do peel back layer after layer. We do transmute. We do turn over our cells. We do clear stagnancy from our organs and our tissues when we do the work. And the more clear we become, the more Christ consciousness, God, and life force energy can flow through us openly and be a clear vessel for truth and for guidance and for love and for healing and all the beautiful things that we're here to be for others and ourselves. You have to tend to yourself. You have to prioritize your own energy, your own frequency, your own vibration, your own healing before you tend to anyone else in an embodied and an integral way. So I hope that this message, this episode lands for you. And I would love to hear any feedback. Leave questions, comments, criticisms. I'm open to whatever it is that anyone has to say. If this is work that you're ready to do, or you are curious about, or you want to go deeper into, especially if you're already a light worker, a healer, a reader, working on behalf of the divine realms, on the behalf of God, and you want to have a conversation with me, email me at shstudios32323@gmail.com. And I would love to chit chat with you. If you're in the Western New York area and you are looking for deeper healing within yourself and you feel blocked and emotionally, spiritually, physically, energetically in some way, and it seems like nothing is working, that's when usually people come to me. I see a lot of light workers, a lot of healers who feel energetically stuck, and the work that we do together is so sacred and divine and so impactful on their mind, body, and spirit. So check me out on my Google business page, Sacred Healing with Laura. And everyone else, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Share this episode, this podcast with anyone you believe would resonate with its content. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Please leave a 5-star review if you find this content and this information valuable, useful, sacred, beautiful, anything. It would be so much appreciated. Until next time, much love and many blessings to you.